Brazilians FaZe on the defense. First map is Inferno. It's where the Brazilians wanted to take it. And it's a great start for Decent, getting himself a headshot with that P250. There is more aggression coming. And I suppose it's Decent's responsibility. He's got Brokey covering the back flank clear. Good work from Brokey. Body shots are now aggressing. Is Decent. How is not getting the frag? Another for Rain. Finally, Vinny brings him down, and they actually have an advantage.
Yeah, I got a little bit uncomfortable in there. It felt like Imperial knew how to react to that situation, but the shots weren't really connecting. So we'll put that off to the jitters. You know, let's get everybody settled, chairs and tables and monitors and all of that. And it's all going to be on to Frozen in this 1v2 contextually. First shot is perfect onto Vinny. Not even the time to shoot, and he could almost peace out. Just he could, but he doesn't want to. Stand his ground.
Maybe that's what they're thinking too, though. Is he gone or is he peeking again? Another headshot from Frozen. Oh! It's too good. A triple to start us off. Upon arrival in Malta, Frozen's hitting headies. Boom.
There's something about the art of like cross angles where you just wait in between two positions that are going to be checked, and this is exactly what Frozen is doing. He knows there's no way that the T is directly going to... You see the mini steps he does. He's just not against the wall. He's a bit more open. Henny is probably getting ready to peek that sandbag position, and then, he's right
already there.
He cut the angle, he broken the angle.
Cut the angle. That's a nice, succinct way to describe it, because it's the nuanced movements of the players we sometimes struggle to put words to. That, however, is not nuanced at all. That is a Molotov converting an opening, and it's already an SMG farm fest. Look at them. They are. Is this no respect Counter-Strike?
A little bit.
A little bit.
I think if you're FaZe right now, you have to bank on a little bit of disrespect as well, because you just don't have the energy to play every round like deeply thought. No, sometimes, you know, we have weapon advantage. They're probably gonna full ego. They didn't plant the bomb. Just full send it. Let's go down middle. Let's establish, and maybe hopefully you shake them a little bit. You shake them a little bit. Like, oh my god, like they seem to play aggressive. I don't like that.
And especially when you bring it into the first gun round. Like, I imagine this is quite a lot of fun for karrigan to call, because he knows he's got what, 3 MP9s to maneuver around the map. You're gonna
still has them right now.
Probably gonna want to call something quite aggressive out of the gates. Rain's throwing out an aggressive T-stairs smoke, so that will limit options for the T's off the rip.
Not a lot of damage being done. It's become quite complicated for the CTs to truly establish banana control, and it takes an incredible amount of commitment. You see karrigan's going to wait on the second wave of smoke, and then it's going to be probably a flash for him to go into this.
Oh, burning. He's forced forward. Vinny's going to overlook him, though, and there's still an opportunity. Frozen got completely jump scared. He still gets away with the frag, albeit low HP. Rain's been summoned over to the B side of the map. They've got abs control.
Yeah, that's a winning trade if you're on the T side. Of course, they might not be aware of how damaged Frozen is, but the fact is you're forcing the CT to stretch so thin with that secondary one coming in over to C spawn. This is the moment where if you're Imperial, taking a little bit of space and territory on the A side should be technically easier. They haven't done it, so my guess is they're going to regather and finish on the B side. And apparently, according to the minimap, it seems to be the right decision for them.
I mean, this is a very typical kind of Inferno flow, right? Where it is just the manipulating this Rain character, trying to keep his expectations a little warped. And well, with the flashy through, they know where he's coming from. One man and an MP9 up against 3 Brazilians with rifles. He's gone. So is the round. At least the hopes for FaZe to find a 3-0.
Does that bait him in? Does that bait him in?
Spamming one through the smoke. ropz is miles away, though. I mean, had he connected there, maybe it's a different story. Yeah.
Fair enough. There's was it curiosity killed the cat, but not this time.
No, but there's an art, isn't there, to that kind of we go if we get one, like that kind of that style of play where you're not committing.
Brokey is the master of that, like testing the limits. He's like behind the library in Interstellar, just in between dimensions. Like, am I gonna go in? Am I not? Who knows?
It's like those, you know, when you talk to kids and they have that period where they just say, but why? You know, he's constantly just going, but why can't I do that?
Brokey, you really shouldn't try that duel.
But why? Tell me why.
No, you should save your AVP, but why?
What if I won the round? You know,
and the problem is he sometimes does win the round, and then he reaffirms the idea that, you know, he should actually try it out and test it out.
Yeah, and picking himself up MVP performances.
It's pretty good work out of FaZe to contest weaponries. Well, not a lot being kept for Imperial, so sure, that's a first round one, but then they're going to have to spend everything they have now off the back of a 4 versus 2. So great job from FaZe, who were playing this round with 3 MP9, mind you, so they can go and reinvest again in this round number 4. And if Imperial lose it, that gets really sketchy.
Which is why those exits have so much weight. I mean, we've got Galil's, Mac 10s. Decent's only got one nade to his name. They don't have a full belt. And the util's got a different flavor too. Look at karrigan. Oh, here he comes. Drive by. Look how much damage the Molotov in combination does. Oh, boost's great. Masked by the HE, but still frozen at just in time. I don't know if Frozen was quick or Vinny was slow.
I think it's a little too dry from Vinny as well. Like, you know there's going to be a second wave of defense, like one flash maybe, or a nade, just something to mask your peak. If you're just going to be like a bird in the sky with your Mac 10, I feel like anybody in a decent position is going to punish you. Now, FaZe opting for a very strong gamble in that 4v3 rather. 3 players on the B side retaking banana at the same time. So if ropz were to fall for some reason, it would be a matter of timing. And the bomb is behind. The bomb is behind. That's the bomb on noway.
Yeah, but I don't even know if they have their info. How do you get him out of here? Flash. Get him out. Get him out. Still sticking around. Grabs the guns. Now this retake of banana gets awkward as they spot out Rain. The backs are turned and ropz will strike despite his isolated nature on A. He's ready for Decent to hunt him down as well. He could not be more ready for this fight. ropz, a master of his craft. And you just highlighted how much pressure was on his part of his responsibility in this setup, given the heavy numbers towards B. But he still has the proactivity to be like, okay, now they're not expecting me to be pushing, because that would be crazy.
I mean, he went above and beyond in this round. Like, he was obviously a potential liability in the contextual setup that they had, but he knew exactly when I can peak based off the information that comes of my teammates, probably a little bit of chaos down middle. Here I peak, and then his experience as a lurker. He knows if there is a lurker, if there is a flank, now is the moment he's going to try and strike. He's heard me short, he's probably going to come for me, and then he's got perfect crosser placement. This is typical ropz 101. You don't outlurk ropz. He outlurks you.
Yeah, and he's done so fantastically here. It's led to noway just trying to bring through an M4 into the next, but you discussed the finances. You just won your first round with 1 alive. Now you lose the next round with 1 saving. I mean, you are up the creek without the paddle.
That is absolutely disheartening right now. I'm looking at the finances. It's one of these situations where out of despair, you might have to just fully force buy. Because, you know, if you don't, even the next round might be a little bit complicated. So there has to be a decision. This would be a right time for a timeout if they do elect to take that decision, just to think through, okay, what is it that we do? But they're not actually. They're moving straight into this, and they're going to fully... No, actually, no. They kept some money in the bank. So it's going to be a bit of a half-buy situation. Kept most of the money in the bank, actually. It's just the M4 save from noway. Few upgraded pistols, and that's a Kobe right there.
Job done. Mission accomplished. And yeah, you got flashes on Vinny. Trying to set them up for banana. It does feel a little helpless. Henny most definitely does, as he finds a smoke staring or locking half wall off. noway so low as well. That saved rifle's not got him very far at all. Forced to retreat as the barrage of utility, and now an SMG to clear. Oh, go on, Frozen. This is going to be mean. Oh, yep. Quick double take. Done. Nearly a double kill. Puts Vinny low. The rate of fire of that MP9. Oh, they put the M4 on felps. That makes sense, but still no Kev, and yeah, no chance.
I don't know how you feel about that, but I personally think the Frozen karrigan association on B banana is perfect. It is perfect. You have a selfless, very brave karrigan who's not going to shy away from a couple of duels here and there, taking space, and then you make sure that your strongest, technically your most skilled player out there is going to have a lot of good kills, good situations to be in. He's going to have moments where individually he has to make the difference. Happen in a pistol round. Yeah. We just witnessed it. I love this combination. I know a lot of teams are trying to mimic it, the Hooksy Nico situation. This is what they're trying to do. I think it's a very working sort of archetype.
Well, yeah, especially considering, you know, as you put selfless, like what one thing karrigan's going to give you is space. Whether it's, you know, he's taken all this info, told you what to do with it, or there's 3 of them with half health, 1, you know, barely hanging on, some good nades, and of course a lot of opportunities to close. Frozen most definitely thriving in this environment. Where's he at now? He was looking at double digits. He's managed to get to 11 to 3.
He's got 11.
5 rounds deep.
He's got as many frags as the entire Imperial squad.
No fun for the Brazilians so far. Let's see if now they've got everything. You know, I say everything, sure. A cheeky Galil in there, but they've got their rifles, they've got their nades, and Rain has a spawn smoke for us all. Little tap W jobby on that one.
I want to see if FaZe continue to be so in-your-face Counter-Strike, because one of the issues that Inferno has on CS2 now, it's super claustrophobic on the CT side. It's very hard to make moves, and mention that, making moves. Look at this, ropz, 1 minute and 37 seconds already ready. Decenty has an ID, but that's very well played from Decenty. This is good map awareness to hold that angle.
To be considering, it's ropz we're talking about. It's not often he's going for something aggressive as the first contact piece on a CT side. Now Frozen, your screen was white there. You're supposed to struggle to kill them.
As we say, c'est la vie.
Yeah,
c'est la vie for noway.
I suppose. I guess he's just got that crosshair placement. He's got that dog in him. This is aggressive, is it not? He's got a partner, and now they don't have a leader. karrigan's had his head removed. This uncomfortable for Brokey. He's trying to punish the hard clear on coldzera, and he's worked it out for one. He finds the upgrade, still has bullets on that AK. Does Stro go wide into felps. It results in a 1v3. And you know where Frozen's going to be.
Absolutely. And if anything, the attempt at baiting from karrigan in library is technically correct. I think in theory he has to do that. But had he survived, he could have entertained the illusion that this was Brokey in library. And then maybe the A site is clear. But the problem is, as soon as you clear karrigan and you check your name tag, you say, someone else here. I killed karrigan. That's one of the things that professionals are extremely good at, or some professionals are extremely good at, is keeping their eyes constantly on the tags, who is dead, who is alive, and as such, where's the next threat? Brokey is still alive, we haven't cleared the A side, he must be here, and you could see how diligent they were in clearing side there.
Right.
This is because karrigan dies in library.
Yeah, I mean, name tagging, it's something that's been a feature of competitive Counter-Strike for as long as people have been competing. It's a natural competitive advantage, but I feel like it's spread even into the pub realms now. As soon as you get to a certain level of just pick-up games, people are starting to go, that's the A anchor, that's the...
Oh,
you know,
you guys do that when you do 10 men as well? You keep tab on who's alive and what is it they like to do?
Well, it's once you have a taste of how much of an advantage it gives you, like when they go for an aggressive half-buy maneuver and you go, wait, that's the A anchor we just killed on B main, get your booties to A. And yeah, it's been fun, it's been satisfying. 4-2 Imperial, let's go. Let's see if they can find a consecutive round win. So far it's been spaced out with FaZe victories. Brokey got his AWP.
The aggression continues.
So brutal. That's the one way to put them back in their place. It's felt through the smoke, caught by Brokey on retreat. And yeah, a bit of a fake 5v3, I suppose.
How is FaZe still in this round? Brokey is actually in a position to get the second kill. He's got beautiful positioning from Brokey. And in spite of giving away 2 opening deaths, that was an instant clear top mid from Imperial. 2 players down. FaZe, within that chaos, thrives enough to turn it around and have a 3 versus 2. I'm baffled.
Yeah, I think Imperial will be too. How does that go so wrong so quickly? Frozen, he's actually going to play ahead of this. His crosshair placement today is absurd. Again, they see this flashed Frozen on the kill feed, wondering, does he just know something we don't?
Seriously, bro?
Yeah.
Seriously? Oh my god.
Right, I've had enough.
I'm just going to stand up and check his PC right there. I'll be back. Could we make sure we have a referee?
Can we have a Frozen screen cam
right now?
I think we're going to set it up.
Send someone.
Just
check your PC.
A dedicated camera on Frozen's monitor, please. I want Frozen monitor POVs throughout the day.
And so just to put on my psychologist hat for half a second here. If you're Imperial, this game is infuriating.
Oh yeah.
Nothing makes sense. You're never in a position where you can execute any plan you've come together during the freeze time. Anything you've discussed, you can never get there. FaZe is forcing deathmatch sessions in the first 20 seconds, and then on top of that, you're getting insult on injury. Look, that's what they're doing. They feel like they need time to discuss. They're gathering in T-spawn just to make sure we can catch a breath. Say, listen, okay, what do we do? This is FaZe being super disruptive.
I'll tell you one thing.
And it's working out.
Yeah, I would probably be wanting to avoid B right now. Every time I've gone there, Frozen shot me through a wall, a smoke, or a flash. I'd be wanting to get anywhere but B, but that means you have to get past Brokey. And at this point, FaZe have got a 3-man setup perfectly positioned to handle this. The only way it goes wrong is if this app setup doesn't get tested and it's rained down empty-handed. But the test is coming, and ropz, he'll only get the 1. Big from Decent, you know Brokey, he's alert as to the possibilities this opens up for the T side.
I think Arena is invisible.
And it's worked out 1. Brokey gone, Decent in, Brain still needs to be cleared, and yeah, Henny will at least confirm his position, but Decent's running at him. Bomb is lost. It's very uncomfortable for Imperial here, and karrigan's got his knife out. It was not ready for that. Spots out the other player, so felps has got info here. Will Frozen have another perfectly placed crosshair for this one? I wouldn't be surprised, but felps has outdone him there.
They can go to B now. Now they're aware. Rain has been known, he's been located for sure. Frozen's down CT spawn, and now you got felps on a little bit of a cutting position. He should have Rain to right. No, absolutely not. Very aware in that situation. That leaves decenty no util, mind you, but Rain either. So it's going to be a straight duel. Oh, and sometimes the easiest way in Counter-Strike is just to swing and take your shot.
Oh, there's no better feeling. Catching Rain with his W key fully held down. And that is one way to solve your team's problems. No overthinking, no choosing your angle, your corners, choosing your moment.
It's one of the ways you can think about Counter-Strike in the duels, because sometimes we hyper-focus on aim and cross placement, and I think that's legitimate. But one of the hidden rules, the unspoken truth of Counter-Strike is my movement is going to catch you in a not opportunistic moment to fight me.
Yeah.
You're going to be in a movement you're not ready to fight. I'm swinging on you. You're moving whatever way you're going, whatever direction you're going, but you're not ready to fight. And this is the name in Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
That's why you cut angles, because you want to catch people in transition.
And the my argument would be that is something else, and aim is when you aren't ready for the fight.
You have to be ready to
be
counteract.
as in your reaction
correct.
to the gap in your expectation. That's when aim comes in, when it's just pure, instinct, pure animalistic response.
And that's something that Simple and Monacy, for example, do admirably.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no matter where you're being caught, you can still win duels. And there are other players who are a bit more, I'm going to just decipher all angles. I'm going to make sure my movements are correct. ropz used to be an absolute trendsetter for that. Always ready to fight, never running when he's got to walk, never being in the wrong crosshair placement as well. But yeah, I agree with you. Some of Counter-Strike is also being caught with your pants down and still getting away with it. That's the beauty of it.
But I mean, ropz' style of play definitely has merit in the sense that you're reducing the amount of times that's possible. How many times you are going to get caught off a game. How many times do you see ropz caught off? I mean, it's once a game, maybe. Most of the time he's ready for you.
The most striking difference is if you play a back-to-back POV of ropz and karrigan, for example.
Yes,
That's the IGL syndrome as well, because you're thinking so much throughout the game that you have moments you're caught in transition, you're moving from one position to the other, maybe you're giving out orders, indications, and you're not ready to fight, whereas like ropz is ready to fight feels like 80% of the time, 85% of the time.
So they have B site, but the bomb's T stairs. They did 2 smokes B, coffins and CT, and they're in. But it's quiet, and karrigan can't quite believe it.
It's going to be a day in the office. It should be fine.
Yeah, I was just wondering as to whether or not these A players would get a wiggle on now, but that arch smoke has actually kept everyone busy. It's a perfect kind of anti-eco setup. The only flaw in the plan is that ropz is not spottable. But felps has got himself mid covered, and Frozen's going to walk into his POV. Quick one! Lovely transfer.
Still an AK recovered.
Yeah,
but
if
the
anything,
investment, not that bad.
It's a silver lining.
I don't think
Does ropz
Raid
get a
deserves
Zeus
that.
here?
Maybe.
He could do. Go on.
Oh yeah, the distance is...
Yeah.
The gap has been closed.
Oh, robbed. I think there was maybe like 2 centimeters.
Yeah, probably.
Too far.
It was like 5 centimeters
a couple
off.
of centimeters. Oh,
Almost feel it. We can almost touch it.
But they got themselves an AK. There you go. You a skin connoisseur, monsieur?
I gotta say, I'm an admirer. I enjoy it, but I don't know much about it. I'm too
You
old
like the
school.
finer things in life. You'd rather have a nice Barolo than a Doppler Karambit Fade.
I am very fancying a glass of Barolo. Obviously, not while we're working.
Not while we're working, absolutely
but
not.
Later down in the day, you might catch me at the hotel bar.
All right.
But when it comes to skins, I think the first generation, let's say 1, 2, first 3 operations, I really kept tab on them, and then after that, I just appreciated it. But I lost track of, that's one of the new skins happening right now.
So you don't have like a setup that you've kind of put together and coordinated and gone, the gloves go well with the AK.
Unfortunately, Alex, I spend all of my money in resorts and hotels and fine bottles of wine. I don't have that kind of money for skin anymore.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so it's us, basement-dwelling,
nice plug.
gamer
I see what you
boys.
did there.
Hey.
Very happy for
and
you,
he's
my
got
bro.
himself ropz, and we've got ourselves a game here, folks. This is a 5th round taking shape.
And that's a huge round from Imperial, because that's a call straight from spawn, immediate A execute, and the only reason they can do that is because the previous gun round, they finally won all of the skirmishes in apps and in boiler. So they've finally put FaZe in their place. They said, listen, you guys want to fight us? We're ready. What's the answer from FaZe? They play a little bit more conventional. You can see it was just a long and short sort of setup, 1-to-1 with the 3-star banana. and then bam, immediately. That's a good call from Vinny. It's a good understanding of where they're at in the half, and slowly but surely, they're making a game out of this. That's 5 rounds. We were looking at a 4-1 start where they had no money.
Yeah, and this 4-1 start is very quickly starting to feel quite high pressure for FaZe, especially if they lose their guns here. There is a bit of a hunting party. They're using diligent nades, and they've got themselves this far. The molly, however, I think has done enough. They can't accelerate upon that bomb detonation, so 5 alive, loud Brazilians in the studio. It's Decent that's being this kind of talisman. I was talking to him with Zach translating a little bit, and I got to learn that Decent is most definitely the energy of the team. He'll be the motivator. He'll be the one that doesn't get tilted. He's
that's kind of crazy considering his profile. Yeah, right. It is. I have a feeling he's one for the future. For at least when it comes to Brazilian Counter-Strike, I think he's going to be a catch, and I'm sure a lot of players are. Or a lot
the
of
person, not the player. You know, we heard that one recently, and I think he's definitely got the person part down, as well as the player. Lovely little gap here, which also facilitates a boost. noway gonna have to have some quick wrist flicks on the anti-flash.
But he's done
saved by this. 1.5. 1.5. Vinny happy to swing and tested by Ray. Profits. Lovely work from the Norwegian. Gives us a man advantage for FaZe. And look at ropz managing his angle so well. Just exploiting the stairs. Decent didn't clear it. karrigan's trying to slip away. Oh, and he's actually anticipation for this play from felps. He's ahead of the play. Huge awareness from karrigan. Love to see that.
Once again, you have to realize what ropz is doing here is so much legwork for FaZe. Because there's a good understanding from Imperial. They see Rain in an M-tag, the killer feed. They know he's on the B side, which means very likely only 2 players. That's logically the moment you're going to take a bit of space in the A-gaps, and ropz is playing the gap to find gaps. Well, hold on a minute. Maybe I keep my theory crafting for a little bit later, because Henny's making a situation out of this.
Yeah, it's actually made a 1v4 look slightly doable. I mean, the nade doesn't even seem far off as well. Just shy of the mark, he's going to get swung on. Yeah, there was some hope there.
Something was happening. There was brewing.
It was. I mean, he had the teabag in, just didn't leave it in long enough. 2 to 3 minutes.
2 to 3 minutes. Is that what you usually do?
Yeah. Not that I'm timing it. It's all about.
Are you a tea connoisseur?
I wouldn't say connoisseur. I definitely returned to my motherland recently and was reminded of how good a good old-fashioned cup of tea is.
That's fair.
So now I've been working through the Tetleys. Having a tea before bed is nice. A chamomile as well to wrap up the day.
I feel like it is.
But far from a connoisseur.
That's a limitless world, which I don't know a lot about. It can be very confusing.
Yeah, I do have some man who's an expert on tea in my Instagram. He pops up on occasion. So this is actually frozen back to his old tricks.
Yeah, but only with 2 players, so they have to be really mindful. ropz finally got punished for his little bit of a line walking he was doing in apps. That was a good opening from decenty as well. And this is where Brokey's supposed to shine. This is where he's supposed to take his tax. Whenever you're executing top middle, he's supposed to get one, stay alive, change position. Ooh, that could be the moment. Oh, wasn't punished on that.
And they're going to let the smoke pop, so... You going to stand there or you flash and go? They flash and go! Rain's got 2 on his screen, both dinked. No one dead. If Brokey goes down here, this is the round. We need a kill out of Brokey's AWP. He's gone. Will they overlook the position?
They might not know. Logically, they might not know.
And he's going to get himself the double. karrigan, a huge contribution. He shouldn't have a third. Very close to finding it, but we're calling it 6-6. Decent with impact. 3 kills at the tail end of the half. We got a game here, folks. So stay tuned. Very nice indeed to have you joining us here for ESL Pro League, a new day and the first day of play for new look, new vibes, ESL Pro League, baby. We're live from Malta. We've got Brazilians taking on the international powerhouse that is FaZe Clan, with karrigan at the helm, Frozen by his side, and they were locking down on B. Now it's their turn to attack, to bring the fight. And no better warrior for this battle alongside with me is Mathieu Maniac Kikre.
An absolute pleasure, and what started as a punching bag session actually turned into a competitive game of Counter-Strike. Imperial showing us what they're made of on that T side. An incredible comeback towards the end. Would it be 4 out of 5 rounds they won? Great job from the Brazilians, and decenty was talking so much between the halves. I'm getting hooked up on that player. I'm telling you, there's something that's brewing here, and I don't know if it's coffee or tea, but it's definitely to my liking. I like the flavor. I like what I'm seeing.
Yeah, well, that flavor could have felps down early. ropz is actually pushed right up into the fight. He's taken that first frag and a second from Brokey. They are running at Henny, and all of this investment into holding A. He's triggered discipline for a little bit. He was flashed as well. karrigan gets him with a full flash to the face. Brokey will plant, and the round will fall into FaZe's favor.
That's a pure wolf pack mentality from FaZe right there, just holding each other's pockets, being ready. Immediate headshots on most of the occasions. felps a little bit blindsided, but then the train is just in-abs, nothing you can really do. A bit powerless, must have felt if you're Imperial.
Right from the get-go. This too as well, you're not going to even bring your Kev through if Rain has anything to do with it. Oh, wow. Now you forced ropz to rebuy Kev.
Leave me alone.
One more. Survival simulator for noway. He's going down one way or the other. And there it is. Brokey will steal it away. 7 for FaZe to start us off. Saw Eternal Fire flirting with these second round buys. Obviously not probably the perfect map for it. Actually, or maybe it is the perfect map for it. They did it on Vertigo. What's your stance on second round buys for the CTs?
So I've never pretended that I knew what was best, but my motto is always, if you do, then you must have an idea that is specifically prepared for that. I think the worst you can do is just buy sort of an autopilot and say, you know, second buy round, is just get the Kevlars out, a couple of P250s, a few smokes, and let's have a good time. I think this is a recipe for catastrophe. If you tailor rounds where you have a couple of tricks, you know the zones of the map you want to fight in, you know where you want to close the gap and when you want to do it, I don't really mind it. But also, it has to be sort of implemented in the grand scheme of things of your CT side.
Yeah.
If we lose, when can we have our first strong gun round? And what are we not going to have? Are we going to have an AWP? Probably not. What smokes are we going to be missing? There are ramifications to that kind of decisions. If you have a game plan that takes that into account, be my guest. Have fun.
Sure, but with 4 SMG or 5 SMG frags, I saw ropz got one and ended with an AK. So yeah, well, majority SMG frags. FaZe have got extra cash to splash. It was Rain who managed to catch the felps aggress, farming himself up a multi-kill.
There's really not a lot of utility coming out of the Imperial camp right now. I don't know if they're going to adjust their purchases, but we're talking about, was it 4 smokes, 2 Molotovs in general? So we're going to have to see if they decide to have the good old banana battle.
They have molly and smoke to start. That's a CT smoke at the logs position. Barrels now. Early apps control. 2 entering in through bedroom. There's this full smoked banana. Is being investigated by Frozen. It's karrigan having a look.
Yeah, that Molotov's going to push Henny out of his position. Same with felps. So what they're making sure of is that bracket is clear. But we see the shut-off is coming in from Henny, so they want to fight. Imperial want to fight towards bracket. They have the bodies. They have the util for it. He sees the shadow. He knows the duel is coming, but Rain destroys him with the MAC-10. See you later, no helmet. Another shadow advantage. Another 1-1 by Rain. The MAC-10 doesn't care. karrigan adds another one, and it falls apart like dominoes very quickly for Imperial.
Oh, it looks so simple when FaZe do it like this. Just walked away. The fights come their way. I mean, you have to hit some bangers if you're Rain, for sure, but exploiting the absent helmet, you know, do you want nades or do you want an M4?
I know, and like felps has twice, not felps twice, but 2 CTs have a shadow information into the duel.
For real?
And twice they get absolutely wrecked by a MAC-10.
Yeah, well, because he's not going to counter-strafe as you would expect if you were getting a Galil in your face.
That's what sometimes the MAC-10 does. If you're walking into a duel where you think, in terms of weaponry, you should have the advantage. But the problem is the model behaves differently. If a MAC-10 duels come your way, or an AK-47 who's going to try to look to counter-strafe and then adjust, a MAC-10 is just going to wide swing you, never stop into, and if he, as you mentioned, don't have the helmet, it's very complicated. So huge bonus round won by FaZe, and that weapon is going to fall. No, Henny keeps it. Silver linings. We're looking for silver linings.
Yeah, at this point, you save 2 rifles. This is the rain frags, getting himself another with this. Oh, he actually did catch a little glimpse of Decent coming ahead of the flash as well.
Yeah, I understand your feeling, Vinny. I do understand it. We are all Vinny right now.
Yeah.
Also not having the best of game individually. Just realized right now, it really caught my eye, but it's been a bit complicated.
So Henny, he's got himself a 3rd rifle in the mix.
It's a big investment. It's not a lot of money. That's a very important round for Imperial. It's going to dictate basically. I think it's they're staying alive in the game right
and then
now.
You get catch double nade. This is the bait. Now you need the switch, but Henny reveals the M4 in apps. ropz will get away, and Rain will start to tighten the noose.
It's a bit of a shame that Henny was so far away from decenty in that setup. I don't know if they miscommunicated because of the nades, if they wanted to take that space or not, if they wanted to play a little bit safer, but it felt like both of them had distinct reactions. decenty decided to go forward, even though the nade was here, whereas Henny waited for it, and as a result, ropz isolates a 1v1, which is never supposed to happen in that setup. And now it's a free 5v4, it's just going through the motions.
Yeah, and every time they've come A, they've successfully taken it so far. We need Imperial to prove that they can hold on to it. As actually, it's noway's angle here. How diligent is Frozen on the clear. Oh, gets ahead of it. A lovely one from noway. Triple kill. And they'll finish it cleanly. There's a confidence booster right there.
I see you're Frozen, and I raise you a noway.
Bang. He was, I mean, this is what we talk about with the kind of the cutting the angles as well. He's just started. I think once he got a premonition, be it a sound cue, the tip of a barrel to edge into the fight. So he's ahead of the expectation. You can see Frozen was starting to clear that, and then they end up losing 2 of them in immediate succession. Frozen, Brokey both going down the superior M4 with its magazine quantity.
Tremendous work considering this was a 4v5 and FaZe had made the right decision, right? They go towards Banana noway's right there on his own, and then he triple kills them. Imperial still very much alive in this game. felps
still got 5 smokes, not a single CT smoke thrown off of spawn. That's quite rare. I think the first has just been thrown out there, top banana. Noway on the reclear. Oh, this is where the util battle will start to rage on. Peeking over the flames, he's still going to get one. At least he's punished. Vinny finds a 4v4 and doesn't really pull off the gas. He continues to try and spam and poke and prod. We've lost felps.
Was that a bait on purpose? Was that Rain running out of boiler, jumping down on purpose so that ropz can get a kill, or am I just overthinking it?
That's a hell of a nade though. Clears the smoke, gets away. 3-on-3, they're channeling up short. It's up to Decent here. The molly's going to force his hand. He has to make a decision. Opts for the extinguish instead. Just draws attention and lives. Playing around the edge of it. Angles to be found. ropz has found the headshot through the smoke. It's still level. 2-on-2. Into the site is Vinny. Bomb loose on the floor. Decent has a great opportunity to hold on to it, but that smoke, it causes problems.
Could technically sneak in and try and get the bomb, but they're not risking it right now. decenty is just covering his bases, making sure no one actually snuck towards truck, and Brokey's on the prowl. He's unaware of Vinny's position. They know he was here, but where is he off to? That's what they're trying to piece together.
Yeah, Brokey's AWP as well will make this fight onto Decent favourable. It's an AWP versus an M4. He has that scope advantage. Decent, if you aren't ready, Brokey's missed it. And now ropz is in the clutch potential.
Oh my God.
But it's Decent again. You're going to keep saying his name. An impact round when Imperial needed him.
And a very complicated duel if you're decenty as well, because your position is known. You've just bested Brokey. And this is, again, the game sense from ropz to coming out of apps, not focused on that information, not focused on the position below, knowing I have to find Vinny. If I find Vinny, which he does, the next duel is a position that I can just swing immediately. A swift change of position as well here. decenty changing his angle, and he keeps them alive.
Ooh, that's a big win, and that's going to put FaZe into a bit of a downward spiral here. It's Kevlar, Deagle. That's on the high end. You've got an armored Tech 9.
this also was a missed shot from ropz.
It was,
He
yes.
had the read, he had the right position for that as well. He had the long range duel with the AWP, and that was a make or break moment for FaZe Clan. Definitely, if he finds that shot, he connects. We're looking at a 10-7 situation, but not meant to be. Imperial are fighting. They're not ready to give up, and I like what I'm seeing. I like the intensity that this game is getting right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is their map pick for a reason. They're going to flash and go. Will Decent eat it? Oh, for breakfast, mate. He's gone, and so is felps.
No.
This is all on Henny now.
No.
He's in so much trouble. They've already tagged him. They're running at him. Nails another with the orb. Hasn't dropped. Will get overlooked for a second. Frozen will find him, but this 2v3 has gone horribly wrong. It's going to get even worse. noway not ready for this angle of brokey. And with his back turned, it's body shots to condemn them to losing this one. An essential eco, Mathieu.
Oh, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking, and it's also... The flash is definitely perfect from FaZe, but is it necessary to be in such a committed position where a flash technically just offs you straight off the round? Is it necessary? And it's frustrating to watch because you've done the hardest part. The round you won before was the hardest part. You've won an incredibly complicated situation. The 2 versus 2, contextually hard to figure out. You put yourself in a position where you have FaZe and an eco round, you can catch right back up, and you play so committed towards bracket. The longer the round draws out, the better it is for you. They don't have util to finish. You don't need to kill them before they exec. You don't need to be that committed. You've basically allowed them to close gap with the shots, and then again, the util is great, but man, that hurts for Imperial.
Yeah, and that's a scratch to the back of the head there for Zach. What can you say? What wise words can you impart onto your troops?
And now they have to buy. Look at the money as well. Look,
yeah.
They're buying, they're reselling again. They're not exactly sure what they're doing. You can see, you catch a glimpse of noway buying a weapon, reselling. They're scrambling right now. They're scrambling to figure out how do we approach this round.
There's no post-map analysis needed. If this does end up going the way of FaZe, Imperial know what's up in the demo review. Well, we don't lose ecos again.
That round would be a turning point. No matter which way it goes.
For FaZe, the review is more complicated. You know, brokey don't miss that shot again, whatever it was. But for them, it's so easy to pinpoint. Now, the investment, it's not entirely.
They're keeping enough. They have to keep enough in the back for what would be the next round. Los bonus of 2.4k, so they're going to have a decent buy after this. Let's be real as well. This could be a threat for FaZe. We have seen pistol rounds go very early, so I'm not going to write Imperial off straight off the gate.
Sure.
So what you gotta do, okay, this is like a bit of a poker game, right? When you're Imperial and you have so little to work with, you sometimes have to make FaZe believe that you have much more to work with. So that's one of the reasons why you do a deep smoke. You try to trick them into thinking, oh, hold on a second, are they being aggressive right now? Do they have more? So you force them to slow the pace just a little bit so that you don't get caught off guard. We'll see if that is a shot.
Oh, the mollies him. Off of half wall, he's still gonna get one! You would have loved to have gotten away, but you'll at least find a frag onto Frozen. And I don't think that Aug's going to be easy to retrieve. Maybe in the smoke you could go for it, but it's not in his interest.
You have to make a decision if you're Imperial. You have to accept the fact that one of your bomb sites is going to be very weak and frail, and that's what they do right now. They just say, listen, we're going to leave you alone, noway. We're stacking the A side. We'll see if that works out.
Yeah, and it's how Rain clears this now. The library smoke is up. Henny knows that he's on a timer. Like, he's got decent to cover. It's not really cover, though. Henny's going to be spotted first. Oh, he could play ahead of this. Chooses not to. He'll actually play a little later. He's still going to be the first component. He's edging around this corner. Tucks into Moto now as App starts to investigate. Coming up short. That's the first contact, so they're not looking. They're going to be focused on this apartment short. And then Rain. No, a little early. Instead, they do reveal themselves with a nice couple of headshots from Decent. A 2 versus 2 established with long range. CZ, yeah. Oh, it's not the weapon for the job there, felps. Anything else?
Save. You might have to save. And you were spot on the money. The timing of Rain was a little precipitated. It wasn't necessary to hit so fast. I also think in this situation, felps played a little too timid. His position towards CT spawn. I mean, of course, he was trying to make sure that nobody was wrapping towards B. But this is where, I mean, sometimes you have to accept that there is a scenario or 2 scenarios in which you are losing. But if the third one is happening, then you're winning. And I would have liked to see felps rather a bit more committed to the A side, a bit closer maybe, so that if FaZe actually decide to go away, which they did, you're in a much better position. And they were 1 duel away. That felps timing could have been here to make a whole difference, and he tried to play it too universal for my liking.
Oh, I like that. That's really interesting analysis. Puts FaZe on 11th, though, which does seem to be spelling trouble for Imperial with a nuke up next. And FaZe's nuke, we'll get into it, Matthew. We'll get into it. Yeah, it's going to be fun to kind of have it pictured, or rather painted for us live, as FaZe do their usual antics on nuke and what makes it so good. So stay tuned to find out a bit about that. But for now, let's see how Inferno ends. Any more twists in the tail, Piggy style? Let's find out.
I think this is the type of round where Henny has to be a little bit aggressive. There's obviously a lack of utility on the side of Imperial. You can see already no more smoke on felps, no Molotov on decenty as well, no way. Actually, scratch that, there's only one Molotov and that's on felps currently. That's the situation for Imperial. So you're not going to win the round based on util and on timing management. So I would like Henny to try to dare just a little bit more, but it's complicated. Long is smoked, so he's got to assume someone could be towards top mid. But this is what he needs to strike. He needs to try and do a m0NESY impression.
Very good nade.
You've seen m0NESY do it plenty of times. And who's waiting for him? Brokey, very aware.
Yeah, but that molly's going to get karrigan swinging. Brokey's still posted. It's felps to bring the fight. They got caught off guard. karrigan looking the other way, but he's still empty-handed. felps gets nothing. Vinny going for this surprise play. There is a small window of opportunity. This AWP standoff is about to be tested. It's Brokey clearing in. Shadow advantage! How has he done that? Brokey, just his elbow visible to the Brazilian. And now, oh, Decent dead as well. This one, it's curtains, folks, and it's a clean one from FaZe. How do you summarize that one?
A metaphorical uppercut to the face of Imperial on that. Oh my lord. Oh, so we can try to make the list very quickly. I think felps' timing on long is something that he had to give up. I really think that he took too big of a risk when he peeks at that very moment, because it's off the back of no flash, he's got no utility support, and his teammate behind CT spawn is way too far away to help him. So I don't think this was a timing that existed. Yeah. A bit of a frustrating angle. That Shadow, by the way, has played against Imperial every single time. Every single time. So Brokey winning the duel up to up, definitely important. decenty tried to play in the smoke, but again, ropz is no one you're going to bamboozle in this situation. You could see, I think it even, I'm gonna go as far as saying I think ropz looked at his radar and he imagined and he computed that he wasn't moving enough the way he was supposed to move at that moment, so someone must be against him. I swear to God, there was a moment where he moved and he looked up left and said, wait a minute, why am I not moving? And he took a step back and he just held the smoke. I mean, who else but ropz? Yeah. It is the most ropz-esque situation you can be in.
I mean, we see professional players kiss in the smoke and have no idea that they've passed
he knew immediately.
He knew immediately. I think he's definitely got that awareness. So we've got an aggressive CT smoke this time, and karrigan's still going to have a sideline towards middle. What's the uppercut? What's the final blow for this first map?
If you FaZe right now, you know time is your friend. Time is your best friend. There's no need to force a decision very quickly. Let Imperial run through the first wave of util that they have to. They won't accomplish much with it. That's why you can see FaZe being conventional, and only now are they going to try to flirt with the idea of probing Banana. Okay, how deep are they? How committed are they? And that's what Frozen is doing, of course. He's been tasked with that order.
So your Arch is smoked. felps is no info to report. A CT Molly is going to be getting a couple of licks onto Rain. So now you've smoked short as well. That has a timer on it. That angle is an interesting one from felps.
They're going to try to poke towards long, but in my mind, FaZe is not committed right now. I don't think karrigan has a final decision. The bomb is moving towards apps, that's a tell, but until that moment, they kind of kept it open.
Vinny, he's ahead of this. felps the bait. They're hoping they overlook Vinny, which they have. Only for a second, it still translates into a man advantage. Now extended from Decent. Catches ropz on the clear. Brokey and Frozen, they are separate now. Frozen's been dispatched towards B or T spawn, so I think we know where this one's going.
And you know what's the difference in there? There's actual synergy between felps and Vinny.
That was the difference.
Exactly, and this is what didn't work out, and I think that's one of the reasons why karrigan tried to hit on that angle of the map, that part of the map again. Yeah. But this time around, even though the first duel goes FaZe's way, you have that sort of wombo combo with felps swinging on Vinny's contact, and then that's it. Double kill with the FAMAS, playing off of each other together and pushing back FaZe. So good for Imperial to fix that problem, plug that leak, because karrigan was all about exploiting it.
Still in the face of defeat, and one round away from losing their map pick, and you can still see Decent trying to motivate the troops.
Nice!
karrigan's like, first day in the office, mate.
karrigan's like, I know all about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I'll tell you one thing.
We have 12.
Yeah.
You take it easy.
And a few grand finals for that matter as well.
FaZe's record is actually mind-blowing, and it is a little bit unfortunate that some of these grand finals were lost, because you imagine the what-ifs, the what-ifs of the last, let's say, 9 months.
It's a good problem to have.
It's a very good problem to have. I know. I'm aware of it, and I'm not going to play the guy that's overly critical of FaZe. I think this would be silly.
Yeah.
But my, oh my, what a dynasty we could be looking at.
For real, for real. Frozen. He'll go down after the 1.
That's Henny on the nade. That's Henny on the nade, and you see the reaction from FaZe immediately. Number 3, number 4, see Henny on the grenade. My run back. We'll see if they elect to choose that timing or use that timing, but this was a tell.
Oh, it was indeed. And as Henny's on Speedway, his premonition is rewarded. He's like, oh, yeah, util. Rain's still in mid, was in mid. felps makes it past 10s, but they are looking to exploit the isolated B player. This is karrigan, who's managed to get past Vinny's sightline. He's no longer actively holding. So it's just about the diligence of karrigan's clear, and it's not going to be so diligent. Nice work from Brokey. He's expecting the rotate to be here. Spots the elbow of felps and bringing the fight, hiding behind the pillar. Brokey, how often you got for us? A 2v4 would be crazy. And ropz has missed his opportunity, but he's... Oh, alerts Brokey to the flank, a chance. felps deagled down to 23, but it's not the lethality they needed. There was a real world where this could have come together.
Absolutely, I could see it happen. I could see it happen because one of the skill set that Brokey has, and obviously a lot of the top players can, but he does it to a next level, is the ability to ignore what should be his next logical duel and directly jump, skip that step, and go into the next one.
Right.
All right, so Vinny is dark, karrigan just been found. I could try and trade him, but no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut the rotation immediately. I'm going to grab that kill because this guy isn't expecting my duel, and then I turn on to Vinny.
Yeah.
And he does that so well in all of the clutches. He skips a step in what the clutch is supposed to be.
He's like those people that finish the sentence you're saying like in their head before you've even finished it, so they're answering your question before you've even asked it.
He builds the IKEA from step 10. He doesn't start.
No.
He knows exactly.
He just opens the bags with his teeth, and mixes it all up, and just starts putting things in.
As I'm trying to understand the goddamn manuals.
The visual language, bro. Oh, I struggle. My Allen key collection is getting plentiful. You need an Allen key? I'm your man. But this one is going to be under lock and key for FaZe, right? I'm not so sure. 2 Tech 9s. I'll make it 2 Tech 9s and a deagle. See what they can cook up as the double HE to start. That's audible.
Yeah, Imperial have done no damage towards Banana whatsoever this game, but that's also because FaZe have been very traditional. Yeah, a little bit of a steppity step, some sound cue happening. Now, please tell me that Imperial have learned the lesson and they're going to be slightly less committed, which they are. Henny with the AWP towards long and felps on a much safer angle that allows him to pull back if he's being caught off guard. So this is the adjustment that I wanted to see. It's just a little defensive on the B side.
That's certainly
receiving a full exec. Well, full exec won't happen actually. 2 smokes, 1 flash. There should be no Molotov. So technically, Vinny and noway should be in a position to deal with it. There's going to be no mollies to move them out of position. It's going to be very, very dry from FaZe. 2 smokes, 1 flash. That's it.
Good util. Well timed as well. You can't really go through that smoke. What have you got? A flashbang? A single flash to do it? With 30 seconds, that's all they've got. That's the only option. It better be one hell of a flash here from karrigan. Good position so far. It's Vinny to swing off of noway. The double up into dark. Why is there no rotation? I suppose the possibility still lingers in their mind of a pivot back. Now noway's tested, and he's gone down empty-handed. Not like this, though. They're going to clear Vinny. He'll get 1, but if they clear him, this retake is awkward. An incredibly difficult retake. 3 versus 4 with all the guns. An attempted spam, jumps away. Brokey's safe from the AWP line that held now. Oh, I don't see a way that he can get back in.
Almost no util. There's a nade, there's 2 flashes, not a lot of map control. That nade is going to do absolutely zap. And Imperial's going to pay the price of being too passive in this round, Alex. This might just be it.
I think you're right. felps is going to give it a go. Look at these angles from Brokey. He's clean with it. One from Eddie, but Brokey, he's farming up heads. Frozen will close, and FaZe take the first map of this series. An opening for their group, and starting with the W. As FaZe seems to be doing all too often these days. A win in the bag to start us off. Nuke up next.